You search for how to build customer intake workflows in Zapier. That's exactly what we're doing, a multi-step Zap that takes a new customer submission and runs it through your CRM, a spreadsheet, your team chat, a task manager, and an email. I'm already signed into Zapier and looking at my dashboard. If you aren't, head to zapier.com and sign in now. The page will land on your home screen with recent Zaps and a big orange Create button in the upper left. Click Create, then choose Zaps. The Zap editor opens with a blank trigger step waiting for you. Title the Zap up top. I'm calling mine Customer Intake Main, but name yours something you'll recognize 6 months from now. Now click that first trigger box. You'll search for the application where customers submit their information. I'm using a Typeform new lead form, but this could be Google Forms, Jotform, HubSpot Forms, Calendly, whatever you already have connected. Pick your app, then choose the trigger event. For a form, it's usually new form submission, new record, or for a scheduler, it's invitee created. Select it, click Continue, and if Zapier asks you to connect the account, do that. Then configure the trigger, pick the specific form or spreadsheet. Once that's set, click Continue again. Now test the trigger. Click Test Trigger. If Zapier doesn't find sample data, don't panic. Just submit a fake customer entry right now in your form and test again. You'll see the retrieved fields appear on screen: customer name, email, phone, company, service requested, budget, notes, submission date, whatever your form collects. Give these a quick scan. This is the moment to catch a missing field that breaks everything downstream. I once had a client form that didn't pass the phone number and the whole task assignment later depended on it. If something's absent, fix your form now and retest. Next, we build the actions. Click the plus button below the trigger to add your first step. Search for your CRM, HubSpot, Salesforce, Zoho, Pipedrive, whichever you use. Choose the action Create Contact or its equivalent. Map the fields. Drag customer name to first and last name, email to email, and so on. Fill in any custom properties you need, like lead source or service interest. I always map the submission date too so I can see when the inquiry came in. Test this action. You should see the CRM screen briefly flash or the test succeed message. That customer now exists in your CRM automatically. Add another action. Search for Airtable or Google Sheets. I'm using Airtable because I can filter views later. Pick Create Record, then select your base and table. Map every field you want logged for reporting: name, company, service, budget, contact method, notes, date. This creates a searchable log, which is a lifesaver when you need to look up who requested what 6 months ago without digging through individual CRM pages. Test it, confirm the record appears. Now notify your team. Click the plus, search for Slack or Microsoft Teams. Choose Send Channel Message. Pick the channel. I point mine to a private hash NEWLEADS channel so the whole sales team hears it ping. Compose your message. I write it like, new inquiry from Cunit is requesting service. Budget, contact, please follow up. Include the dynamic fields from the trigger step, not static text. Test the notification and watch it land in the channel. Your team now knows instantly. The next action is the follow-up task. Add a step and search for your task tool, Asana, ClickUp, Trello, Monday. Choose Create Task. I'm using Asana. Name the task, follow up, and drop in the description all their details plus the submission date. Assign it to a specific team member. I set the due date to today so nothing slips. Test it. The task appears in the project. This is the step most people skip, and then a lead sits untouched for a week. Finally, send the welcome email. Add an action, search for your email app, Gmail, Outlook, or transactional service like Brevo. Choose Send Email. I use Gmail. Set the to field to the customer's email from the trigger. Subject line: thank you for contacting us. The body should confirm you received their inquiry, give an expected response time, and include next steps or contact info. Personalize it with their name and requested service. Test the email. You'll get it in your own inbox. The customer now has instant confirmation they're in the system. Your core workflow is complete, but we can make it smarter. Click anywhere after the trigger to insert a filter. For example, filter by Zapier. Only continue if budget is greater than $5,000, or if service requested exactly equals consulting. This routes high-value leads differently. Or use paths by Zapier to branch. Enterprise customers go to one team, small business to another, support request to support. Add extra actions if you want. Schedule a Google Calendar consultation, create a Notion client page, send an SMS, or add them to your email marketing list. I'll drop in a quick calendar booking. Click the plus, search Google Calendar, choose Create Detailed Event, map the date and time from the form if you collect that, or set it a few days out. Test each addition individually before you move on. It's the only way to catch mapping errors early. When every action passes its test, click that Publish button in the upper right. Zapier turns your Zap on and starts processing live data. Wait for the success screen, then do a final live run. Submit a real-looking test entry through your form. Go to your CRM, your spreadsheet, your Slack, your task tool, and your email to confirm everything fired as it should. If one step fails, the Zap history page under the Zap name in the dashboard will show you the exact error and which field caused it. I check that history once a week for my main intake Zaps. It's the single best habit you can build for catching subtle failures like a renamed CRM property that killed a mapping. A couple things that'll save you trouble later. First, your form apps and destination apps all must be connected and stay connected. If you ever replace a form provider, you have to rebuild the trigger mapping. Zapier doesn't carry it over. Second, if you're on a limited plan, watch your task usage. Each action in the Zap counts as a task, and a busy intake form can eat up hundreds a month. You can see your usage right in the sidebar under Settings. If you need to trim, combine steps where possible, or use a single webhook to push data to multiple places instead of separate actions. And third, if something suddenly stops working, the fix is usually in Zap history. Open the failed run, look at the data in versus data out, and you'll spot the mismatch immediately. If this tutorial helped you, hit like and subscribe so more people find it. And leave a comment saying it was helpful. Those comments are what push this in front of others searching for the same thing.